The thousands of supply chains and data networks driving the modern economy lead past digital server farms and stock exchanges directly back to the water. This single body of water is the third largest on Earth, physically bridging Africa, Asia, and Australia. Looking closer, it encompasses the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal in the north, stretching down past Sri Lanka and Madagascar. Because these coastlines face inward toward a shared basin, the ocean acted as a natural highway. For thousands of years, it connected neighboring civilizations rather than keeping them isolated. The engine powering this highway is a seasonal weather system. Alternating monsoon winds blow from the southwest in summer and reverse from the northeast in winter. By mapping this rhythm and timing their departures, early mariners let the wind carry them across open water. This reliable wind system allowed heavy wooden sailing vessels to transport thousands of tons of spices, textiles, and precious metals back and forth from the Swahili coast to Indian harbors. Centuries before European galleons entered these waters, African, Arabian, and Asian merchants had already built a highly synchronized international maritime network. In 1497, Vasco da Gama launched an expedition from Portugal to tap into this wealthy network. His fleet spent months navigating unfamiliar, harsh currents southward along the Atlantic coast of Africa. To reach the eastern trade routes, they had to survive the violent storms and geographical bottleneck at the southern tip, now known as the Cape of Good Hope. Once inside the Indian Ocean basin, the Portuguese ships moved carefully northward up the East African coastline until they anchored at the port of Malindi. Da Gama did not chart the final crossing alone. In Malindi, he recruited a local maritime pilot who already knew the seasonal currents, relying on him to guide the Portuguese fleet across the Arabian Sea to Calicut. This voyage violently plugged European monarchies into a pre-existing, highly advanced maritime economy, triggering a massive shift in global power dynamics. Over the following centuries, those sprawling wooden wharves rapidly evolved into massive industrial complexes of steel, concrete, and automated cranes. Today, these waters handle tens of thousands of massive container ships carrying the manufactured goods, electronics, and food that keep global supply chains functioning. Beyond retail goods, this specific ocean serves as the primary conduit for the global energy trade. A vast majority of the world's crude oil travels across these shipping lanes. Beneath the surface, thick bundles of fiber optic cables trace the ocean floor. These physical lines process millions of terabytes of data, directly connecting the internet networks of multiple continents. Securing these trade routes provides control over physical commodities and the stability of global digital networks. Geographically, the Indian subcontinent protrudes deeply into the center of this oceanic crossroad. The major modern shipping lanes converge directly below its southern tip. For India, the ocean dictates daily life. Millions of livelihoods in sprawling coastal cities, domestic industries, and commercial fisheries rely entirely on the rhythms of the sea. Maintaining a healthy, secure Indian Ocean has evolved from a shared international goal into a direct requirement for India's ongoing economic survival. But the intense industrial activity sustaining this massive global trade is pushing the marine ecosystem to the point of collapse. Millions of tons of plastic waste and untreated industrial runoff accumulate along the shorelines every year, choking shallow coastal habitats. Simultaneously, rising oceanic temperatures driven by climate change are triggering mass bleaching events, killing the vast coral reef systems that harbor vital marine biodiversity. If these physical threats are left unmanaged, the cascading ecological failure will destroy the natural environment and the trillion-dollar economic lifeline it provides. To prevent this, countries are adopting an economic framework called the Blue Economy, a system designed to balance heavy commercial shipping with strict environmental preservation. This involves replacing fossil fuel infrastructure with zero-emission green ports and generating renewable power from massive offshore wind farms anchored to the seabed. It also requires managing fish stocks and monitoring water toxicity in real time, relying on automated sensors and AI-driven satellite networks. The vessels traversing these waters are evolving once again, transitioning from colonial galleons and diesel freighters to a new generation of clean technology ships. The Indian Ocean built the historical wealth of empires, and its health will dictate the economic stability of the next century. What role will India play in this upcoming blue economy?